Germany's story begins in ancient Europe with Germanic tribes. The Franks under Charlemagne laid the foundation for the Holy Roman Empire. The empire, a patchwork of kingdoms, faced internal strife and external pressures. Martin Luther's Reformation ignited religious and political upheaval. The 30 Years' War left the German states ravaged but set the stage for a new era. Charlemagne's dream of a unified empire proved elusive. The Holy Roman Empire was a complex tapestry of competing interests. Internal divisions and external threats plagued the empire. Despite instability, the empire fostered a vibrant cultural and intellectual life. The seeds of a distinct German identity began to take root. Martin Luther's challenge to the Catholic Church sparked a religious revolution. His 95 Theses in 1517 ignited the Reformation. The empire fractured along religious lines, leading to decades of turmoil. The Peasants' War and the Peace of Augsburg marked significant conflicts. Tensions between Catholics and Protestants remained, setting the stage for future conflicts. The 30 Years' War devastated the Holy Roman Empire. The conflict drew in major European powers and left a trail of destruction. Disease, famine, and violence ravaged the German population. The war reshaped Europe's political map and weakened the Habsburg dynasty. The German people faced a legacy of trauma and division. Prussia emerged as a new power after the 30 Years' War. The Hohenzollern dynasty expanded Brandenburg's influence. Frederick the Good crowned himself king in Prussia in 1701. Prussia's military prowess and efficient bureaucracy fueled its rise. Religious tolerance and a strong central government laid the foundation for greatness. Otto von Bismarck sought to unify Germany under Prussian leadership. Bismarck's realpolitik involved pragmatic and ruthless politics. He manipulated international relations to advance Prussia's interests. Bismarck channeled German nationalism to bolster support for unification. His goal was a powerful and unified German nation. The Franco-Prussian War in 1870 united the German states. Bismarck provoked France into declaring war on Prussia. Prussia's military triumph led to the capture of Napoleon III and the fall of Paris. The German Empire was proclaimed in 1871 at Versailles. Germany emerged as a dominant force in Europe. Germany entered the 20th century with confidence and ambition. Kaiser Wilhelm II pursued aggressive diplomacy and military buildup. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand ignited World War I. Germany mobilized for war on two fronts, confident in its military prowess. The war's devastating consequences were underestimated. World War I unleashed unprecedented scale and brutality. Trench warfare, poison gas, and machine gun fire defined the conflict. Germany faced early successes but bogged down into a stalemate. Economic hardship and disillusionment grew among the German people. Desperate measures, including unrestricted submarine warfare, brought the US into the war. Section 3, Defeat and Despair, the Treaty of Versailles. By the autumn of 1918, Germany's military situation was desperate. Its armies, exhausted and demoralized, faced defeat on both fronts. The German home front, ravaged by food shortages and social unrest, teetered on the brink of collapse. On November 11, 1918, with revolution brewing in the streets of Berlin, the German government signed an armistice with the Allies, bringing an end to the Great War. The war had exacted a devastating toll on Germany. Millions lay dead, countless more were wounded, and the nation's economy lay in ruins. The German people, exhausted and disillusioned, struggled to come to terms with the magnitude of their defeat. Adding to their humiliation was the Treaty of Versailles, a harsh peace settlement imposed on Germany by the victorious Allies. The treaty, signed in the Hall of Mirrors at the Palace of Versailles, held Germany solely responsible for the war and imposed crippling reparations payments, territorial losses, and strict limits on German rearmament. The treaty's harsh terms, particularly the War Guilt Clause, fueled resentment and a burning desire for revenge among many Germans, creating fertile ground for the rise of extremist ideologies in the years to come. Germany, once a proud and powerful nation, found itself humbled and isolated, stripped of its colonies, its economy in shambles, its people burdened by a sense of collective guilt and resentment. The war had shattered the old order, leaving in its wake a legacy of bitterness and instability that would cast a long shadow over the coming decades. Section 4, the Weimar Republic, a fragile experiment in democracy. From the ashes of defeat and revolution, a new Germany emerged. The Weimar Republic replaced the monarchy with a parliamentary democracy, granting universal suffrage and enshrining civil liberties. It was a bold experiment in democracy, an attempt to build a new and more just society from the ruins of the old. The Republic's founders faced a daunting task, inheriting a nation deeply divided and burdened by the humiliation of defeat. The legacy of the war and the harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles cast a long shadow over the young republic. Section 5, Economic Chaos and Political Extremism. The early years of the Weimar Republic were marked by economic turmoil and political violence. Hyperinflation ravaged the German economy, wiping out savings and plunging millions into poverty. The streets became battlegrounds for rival political factions. The crisis peaked in 1923, with the German mark becoming worthless. Images of wheelbarrows of banknotes symbolized the Republic's failures. The crisis strengthened extremist groups offering simplistic solutions. The political climate grew increasingly polarized. The Nazi Party, led by Adolf Hitler, gained notoriety for its nationalism and anti-Semitism. They exploited fears, blaming Jews, communists, and liberal politicians. They promised to restore order and revive the economy. Their message resonated with those who had lost faith in democracy. Section 6. The Rise of Hitler and the Nazi Party. Adolf Hitler, a failed artist and decorated war veteran, found his calling in the cauldron of post-war German politics. Drawn to the Nazi Party's message of nationalism, anti-Semitism, and resentment against the Treaty of Versailles, Hitler quickly rose through the ranks of the party, his fiery oratory and charisma captivating audiences hungry for simple solutions to complex problems. Hitler offered a seductive and dangerous vision for Germany's future. He promised to restore Germany to its former glory by overturning the Treaty of Versailles, rebuilding the military, and creating a new German empire in the East. He scapegoated Jews and other minorities, blaming them for Germany's economic woes and portraying them as a threat to the purity of the German race. The Nazi Party, once a fringe group on the margins of German politics, steadily gained support, exploiting the economic crisis, the weakness of the Weimar government, and the anxieties of a nation still reeling from defeat and humiliation. Hitler understood the power of propaganda and spectacle, staging massive rallies adorned with swastikas, banners, and the hypnotic chanting of Nazi slogans. The Nazis skillfully exploited the democratic process, using their growing representation in the Reichstag, the German parliament, to disrupt proceedings and undermine the government's legitimacy. They organized paramilitary groups, the SA or Sturmabteilung and the SS or Schutzstaffel, to terrorize political opponents and intimidate voters. Step by step, through a combination of intimidation, propaganda, and political maneuvering, the Nazis tightened their grip on German society. Chapter 7. Falling into Darkness. The End of the Weimar Republic. 1933 was a huge turning point for Germany. It was the year the Weimar Republic crumbled, and the Nazi Party took over. Germany's economy was a mess, and there was fighting in the streets. President Paul von Hindenburg made Adolf Hitler chancellor on January 30, 1933. Hindenburg and his friends thought they could control Hitler. They were wrong. Hitler wanted total control. Just a few months after becoming chancellor, Hitler started grabbing power. There was a fire at the Reichstag building. Hitler used this fire to take away people's freedoms. In March of 1933, the Reichstag passed the Enabling Act. This law made Hitler a dictator. He could make any laws he wanted. The Nazis quickly destroyed the Weimar Republic. They outlawed other political parties and took over the newspapers and courts. The Weimar Republic was already weak. It had lots of problems within the government, the economy was terrible, and the Nazis kept attacking it. Finally, it couldn't go on any longer. Germany, a country that was once a symbol of hope and progress, fell into the darkness of a dictator. Hitler was in charge now, and he was filled with hate, fear, and crazy ideas about race. The world watched in horror as this nightmare unfolded. Nazi Germany showed everyone how easily freedom can be lost and how terrible things can happen when extremism isn't stopped. The Iron Curtain falls. The defeat of Nazi Germany in 1945 ended 1-2 but began a new era of division. Germany lay in ruins, divided by the victorious Allies. The Yalta Conference divided Germany into 4 zones, sowing seeds of future conflict. The Cold War intensified, splitting Germany into East and West. The Iron Curtain descended, making Germany a Cold War focal point. The construction of the Berlin Wall in August 1961 stood as a stark symbol of the Cold War's human cost and the seemingly intractable division of Germany. Berlin, situated deep within East German territory, had remained a permeable point of transit between East and West, a loophole through which thousands of East Germans, seeking freedom and opportunity, fled to the West. Determined to stem the flow of refugees, the East German government, with the support of the Soviet Union, erected a heavily guarded barrier, consisting of concrete walls, barbed wire fences and watchtowers, effectively cutting the city in two. The wall, stretching for miles through the heart of Berlin, became a physical manifestation of the Iron Curtain, a stark reminder of the oppression and lack of freedom faced by those living under communist rule. The Berlin Wall became a potent symbol of Cold War division, a physical and ideological barrier that separated families, friends and loved ones. The wall stood as a monument to communist repression, a stark reminder of the human cost of totalitarian ideology. Over the following decades, the Berlin Wall would witness countless attempts to escape, many successful but tragically, many ending in tragedy. The wall became a focal point for Cold War tensions, a site of protests, demonstrations and pronouncements by world leaders, including President John F. Kennedy's famous declaration, "Ich bin ein Berliner." Section 4. Cracks in the Wall. Seeds of discontent and longing. Despite the Berlin Wall's presence, the desire for freedom smoldered beneath the surface. Economic stagnation and political repression fueled discontent in East Germany. Dissident groups demanded democratic reforms and greater freedom. Churches became centers of opposition. Gorbachev's reforms emboldened Eastern Bloc reformers. Glasnost and Perestroika weakened hardline regimes. Soviet influence waned, intensifying pressure on East Germany. Mass demonstrations demanded reunification with the West. The East German government crumbled under mounting pressure. Section 5. Reunification, a momentous turn of the tide. The fall of the Berlin Wall on November 9, 1989, marked a pivotal moment in German history. Images of citizens chipping away at the wall symbolized the collapse of communism in Eastern Europe. The fall unleashed euphoria and celebration across Germany and the world. It was a moment of profound emotional resonance, reuniting families and communities. For the world, it signaled the end of the Cold War and the triumph of democracy. Following the fall, events moved swiftly. The East German government collapsed, paving the way for reunification. On October 3, 1990, Germany formally reunified, marking a new era. The reunification was a testament to the resilience of the German people. It was a victory for democracy and freedom. Germany emerged as a united, democratic and prosperous nation. Section 1. An economic powerhouse, from reunification to global player. The reunification of Germany in 1990 marked a new era, filled with challenges and opportunities. Integrating East Germany's economy required massive investment and political will. Germany's resilience and innovation led to economic recovery and growth. The German economy emerged as a powerhouse within the European Union. German companies became global leaders in various industries. German products, known for quality and innovation, solidified Germany's global reputation. Section 2. Germany and the European project, a reluctant leader. Germany's growing economic weight within the European Union inevitably translated into a more prominent role in shaping the bloc's political agenda. However, Germany's history, particularly its role in World War II, cast a long shadow over its approach to international affairs. The concept of German leadership in Europe, once unthinkable, remained a sensitive topic, both within Germany and among its neighbors. Despite its initial reluctance to embrace a leadership role, Germany gradually emerged as a key player in addressing the challenges facing the European Union. During the Eurozone crisis, which erupted in 2009, Germany, with its strong economy and its commitment to fiscal discipline, played a pivotal role in stabilizing the single currency and providing financial assistance to struggling member states. Germany's approach to European integration, often characterized as cautious and pragmatic, drew both praise and criticism. Supporters lauded Germany's commitment to European unity and its willingness to shoulder the burdens of leadership. Critics, however, accused Germany of imposing its economic model on other member states and of failing to show sufficient solidarity with those facing economic hardship. Germany's role in the European migrant crisis, which began in 2015, further highlighted the complexities of its position within the EU. Germany, under Chancellor Angela Merkel's leadership, took in over 1 million refugees, many fleeing war and persecution in the Middle East and Africa. While Germany's humanitarian response was widely praised, it also sparked a domestic backlash and fueled the rise of right-wing populist parties critical of Merkel's open-door policy. As Germany entered the third decade of the 21st century, it faced a myriad of challenges both domestically and on the global stage. The rise of populism, fueled by economic anxieties, concerns over immigration, and a perceived loss of national sovereignty, threatened to undermine the liberal democratic order that Germany had championed since the end of World War II. The global political landscape, characterized by increasing uncertainty, geopolitical rivalry, and the erosion of multilateral institutions, posed significant challenges to Germany's foreign policy. The election of Donald Trump as President of the United States, with his America First agenda and his skepticism towards NATO and the European Union, strained transatlantic relations and forced Germany to rethink its traditional reliance on American leadership. Germany, a nation heavily dependent on exports, faced growing protectionist sentiment in key markets, threatening its economic model and its prosperity. The rise of China as a global economic and military power presented both opportunities and challenges for Germany, forcing it to balance its economic interests with its values and its commitment to a rules-based international order. Domestically, Germany grappled with the challenges of integrating its growing immigrant population, addressing the concerns of an aging workforce, and adapting its economy to the demands of digitalization and automation. The rise of social media and the spread of disinformation posed new threats to social cohesion and challenged Germany's tradition of reasoned debate and consensus building. Despite the challenges confronting it, Germany remained a nation with a remarkable capacity for resilience, innovation, and reinvention. Its history, marked by periods of both extraordinary achievement and profound tragedy, had instilled in its people a deep-seated belief in the importance of hard work, education, and the pursuit of excellence. Germany's commitment to democracy, human rights, and the rule of law, forged in the crucible of its own history, remained a cornerstone of its national identity. Its strong institutions, its vibrant civil society, and its culture of social responsibility provided a solid foundation for addressing the challenges of the 21st century. Germany's future success would depend on its ability to leverage its strengths, confront its challenges head-on, and adapt to a rapidly changing world. It would require visionary leadership, a willingness to embrace change, and a continued commitment to the values of tolerance, openness, and international cooperation. As Germany looked ahead, it did so with a sense of cautious optimism, tempered by an awareness of the lessons of its past. The nation that had risen from the ashes of war and division to become a beacon of democracy and prosperity stood poised to play a leading role in shaping a more just, peaceful, and sustainable world. Its story, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, served as both an inspiration and a cautionary tale. A reminder that the future is not preordained, but rather a canvas upon which each generation must paint its own vision of hope and progress. Germany's journey from fragmented tribes to a unified nation, from empire to superpower, has been a tumultuous one, marked by periods of both remarkable achievement and devastating destruction. It is a story of emperors and dictators, of groundbreaking inventions and unspeakable atrocities, of division and ultimately of unity. It is a story that has shaped the destiny of Europe and continues to influence the world today. From Charlemagne's vision of a unified Christian empire to the horrors of the Nazi regime, from the division of East and West to the euphoria of reunification, Germany has repeatedly confronted its demons, learned from its mistakes, and emerged stronger from the crucible of its past. The Germany of today is a testament to the resilience of its people, their capacity for innovation, and their enduring commitment to democracy, freedom, and the rule of law. Germany's legacy is a complex one, a tapestry woven from threads of triumph and tragedy, innovation and destruction, unity and division. It is a legacy that continues to shape the nation's identity, its role in the world, and its understanding of its place in history. Germany's story is a reminder that the past is never truly over. It lives on in the present, shaping our choices, our values, and our aspirations for the future. As Germany looks ahead, it does so with cautious optimism, aware of the challenges ahead. The world is changing rapidly, and Germany must adapt to geopolitical uncertainty, technological disruption, and social upheaval. Navigating these issues requires strong leadership, dialogue, and cooperation. Germany's future depends on economic competitiveness, social cohesion, and global leadership. Its story continues to unfold, offering lessons and inspiration for the future. The future is yet unwritten, but Germany is well positioned to shape its destiny and contribute to a sustainable world.